I had the opportunity to play Coretta Scott King in a production for HBO called Boycott, and it was really dealing with the bus boycott of 1955. So that's 10 years prior to who I'm playing now, and I think I'm really dealing with a very different Coretta at this point. The marriage is in a very different state, and that's something that we really explore in Selma. I think when I first got to play her, both her and Martin were at the beginning of taking on the role of first lady and sort of leader of the movement. By this point, they've really been steeped and very much, they're deep in the trenches at this point. And I think the threat of violence and death as being something that is a potential on their horizons, I think is very much more palpable. And as a result, there's just much more of a burden that I think is very evident in the way that she conducts herself. And so it's been quite an interesting thing to have played her at a much fresher, more sort of optimistic stage in her life, and then to sort of move 10 years on and have all of that experience, all of that sort of knowledge and research that I had from playing her the first time, and then adding to that with something that's so much weightier. I actually played her almost a little more than 10 years ago. So it's just been a very fascinating sort of parallel and an amazing thing to have your own personal life experience be able to imbue the experience of the character that you're playing. I think that's quite unique in my career, and I can't think of too many actors that have had the chance to play a character in almost the same amount of distance on screen as in their own real lives. So it's been a treat, actually. I think Coretta is one of those women that was forever the devoted wife, but I think what we're exploring in this script is the fact that although there was a presentation of devotion, I think internally there was a lot of struggle that she had to go through. And so this is a scene where she's sort of worked through that struggle and she's decided to be by his side in a very sort of public and visible way. I did have the opportunity to spend time with Mrs. King when she was alive, and I was very, very grateful that she gave me her blessing of my first performance of Coretta, so I would hope that she'd be giving me the same for this one. And she was a really remarkable woman. I was moved to tears, quite literally, when I first met her, because without saying a word, she just had this stoicism about her and this presence that had such grandiosity that you couldn't help but be overwhelmed by it. And then I sort of composed myself and got to spend some time, and she was an incredibly warm, matriarchal figure. And yeah, I'm just very, very fortunate to have had that time with her. He's right there. He looks the part. He's worked very hard physically to resemble Martin. To listen to him talk is fantastic because he's really found the timbre and the melody and the rhythms of Martin Luther King. And he's just a very generous person to work opposite. He really wants the best from you, and he knows how to get it out of you. And he demands the best of himself every day that he shows up to work.